What's up, everyone? It's your boy BLAZEDxENFERNO.
And I'm Eknight117, and you're watching episode 82 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast.
We're recording this episode live right now during my motherfucking 1K follower celebration on Twitch. So this is a live episode. Yeah, I mean, we're recording live right now, man, in front of a couple people, man. It's going to be a good time. Should be a really good episode for y'all, man. As always, if you're new to the show, just know you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. Links are in the description as always. And check out our personal links as well, man. Make sure y'all check us out. Support my boy Eknight, you know what I mean? And everything he does. And also check me out and all that shit. But also remember to rate the show 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, because a lot of y'all been watching on YouTube, but y'all not hitting that like button, hit that like button, man. It helps us out. It goes a long way. You just simply hitting that like button, man. Trust me. Trust and believe, dog. Boom. Welcome in everybody who's here, man. We doing this live podcast just for y'all, man. Everybody that's in the stream right now, I just put a link in the chat. That link will take you directly to the links we just spoke about. And you can follow, like I said, follow my boy Eknight. And all that other good shit. But let's get into it, man. We got a good show here today. We got a lot to talk about. Not too much, but enough to where it should be an interesting show, man. So let's do a little warm up. I mean, let's do a little warm up. Just a little warm up conversation.
Okay.
xDefiant, man. xDefiant, man.
I haven't heard shit about it.
xDefiant, man. It is a game that Ubisoft has been working on for a long time now. They call it the Call of Duty killer. A lot of people at one point were streaming this game when it was in the open beta and the closed beta. And everybody's losing their fucking mind saying this is the next thing to beat COD. And it's been in a lot of trouble, man. Like, there's been a lot of delays for that game. Apparently the game was supposed to come out last month. And it didn't release. And then there was a whole, I remember reading a Twitter thread of like, basically the issue was that, directors weren't seeing eye to eye with the vision of the final product of the game. And they were trying to make it more and more like Call of Duty to the point where they had to keep on changing the game and it became an issue and it was a whole mess, man. Eknight, tell me how you feel about this. 'Cause I know you can't wait to play xDefiant. I know you're one of those like 500 people who can't wait to get on xDefiant, man. You can't fucking.
Oh, I don't really care at all. I forgot all about that game until you just brought it up just now. I never was excited for it, so I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
Like trying to gaslight me like that. I don't
You
understand.
don't want to play xDefiant, man?
No, you were hype about it for the longest time, and then you said they ruined it because they ruined the movement.
You don't want to play xDefiant, man. It's the Ubisoft shooter, man. It's free to play.
Man, I'm more excited for the Marvel fucking Overwatch clone.
Ooh, I forgot to put that on the show notes. We're going to talk about that too, man. Listen, I think, shout out to NetEase. They might have a banger. We're going to talk about that in a minute, y'all, chat. But
it looks good.
xDefiant had its chance, and I think it's way... At this point, they just need to drop it. Like, they should have capitalized on that little... like time and space in between Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. They needed to capitalize on that. I think right now it's too late because just to talk about Call of Duty a little bit right now. The new season just started, season 3. It's probably the best season of the past 5 Call of Duties put together because as Eknight says all the time, this season just really focuses on fucking fun, dog. Just fun. There's so much like crazy new shit they added with the new Moors, one-shot sniper coming back. So quick scoping is like this crazy big thing again. It's like super meta and shit like that. And then you got the new SMG, which is pretty cool. It's pretty dope. You know what I mean? You got like 3 new vests that cater to different people's play styles. Like you got people that like to run around with knives and throwing knives and stuff. They have vests that allow you to do that and recharge, get extra knives and move faster with certain weapons and just a bunch of shit to where I think they really focused on fun. We got Rebirth Island is back. People been bitching and begging for Rebirth to come back. It's to the point that literally all the sweats came back. You know what I mean? All the sweats are there, and it's just this season's really good, man. I like this season a lot. The only thing that's been killing me is there's no zombies content once again until the mid-season update, and that's killing me, dog.
Really?
Yeah, man. They it's like they're doing zombies the same way they did DMZ, but like way worse, in my opinion. Because at least DMZ each season got a beginning of the season update and a mid-season update. Zombies players gotta wait until the middle of the season to get the smallest shit, a new mission to do, a tier, and to continue the quote unquote zombie story, and then what else they got? What else they got besides that? They get a new stronghold, and that's it. There's no new contracts. There's no new enemy types. There's no nothing, man. It's fucking it's fucking whack for zombie players. And it's like they tried to sell zombies as like this new complete experience, but it just feels it's like DMZ didn't die for this, man. That's how I feel when I play zombies. Like
there's still no like just DMZ mode. It's just zombies.
Yeah, basically. It's crazy. Lame. DMZ's just dead. Like you could play DMZ, but it's not updated. It's still Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of people that play it. I mean, because I tap in every once in a while. But yeah, this season, as far as like for multiplayer players and Warzone people, eating good. But I think it's just too late for xDefiant to come out right now. I think Call of Duty's just, they dominating. Battlefield 2042 is made a little comeback. I played it a little while ago with Foxy, maybe like a week or two ago with Foxy. We had a great time. Great time. And I just think there's no more room for a game like that. I think the only game that's got room right now is if it ever did come out is Titanfall 3, man. But I think,
dude, I could not.
I think
the Titanfall 3 would be fucking lit to come out right now.
Yeah, I think it's too late for fucking. I think it's too late for xDefiant. I think at this point, if they want to drop the game, they might as well just drop it. And because this is the thing with these free-to-play games and these free-to-play models, they be trying to chase all the time.
We're trying to chase the Helldiver high right now.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a live service game that lasts as long as Fortnite did. So, like, it's...
This is the thing. Helldivers did live service in a really good way. It's my favorite thing about that's my favorite thing about the entire game is that it's like it's not over the top with it, man. It's like, yeah, the game has its issues, and I complain about them a lot. I talk, crazy shit about Helldivers all the time. I do think the game is overrated sometimes. Overhyped sometimes. I do believe that, man. I do believe that the game is overhyped sometimes.
Just casually just spreading, misinformation about our true democracy.
Nah, I just think the game is great, man. Like I tell people all the time, man.
Treason. This is treason, but all right.
I think me personally, man, I just think I think the game has its issues, right? But despite its issues, right, I think it's still a great game. It's still really fun to play. And I think that the way they do live service is like damn near perfect. Like It's not over the top with like, hey, want to buy this, want to buy that. It's like,
no, and it's actually the first live service game you can actually earn like monetized currency in.
Yeah, not in the battle pass, but inside the game. So
inside, like just playing the game. Yeah, actual gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, I think a lot of times Helldivers doesn't get the shit that it deserves sometimes, and I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but I do think, like I said, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think that is exactly what it is, a 9 out of 10. I can see people giving it a 10. I see it, but me personally, it's like a nice little 9. But this ain't the shit on Helldivers just to say, I think everybody's trying to chase that fucking, they're trying to chase that high of, we can make a live service game just like that, but the problem is you over monetize shit, you push people the fuck away with the game not working, but the shop works. You know what I mean? A lot of these games, that's the problem.
That's a big problem with live service. The shop always seems to work, but everything else doesn't.
Yep. And it just fucking sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. Like what's going on with like Apex right now, unacceptable. Completely unacceptable, dog. You know what I mean? Now, granted, like the one thing I always give like a game like Apex or a game like Warzone or a game like Fortnite, the benefit of the doubt is it is a free-to-play game. It is a free-to-play game. So you can essentially, especially in Fortnite, you can play that game and not spend a fucking $1. You know what I mean? Same thing with Warzone to a certain extent. I don't think you can be completely free to play. It's kind of harder for you, but you can do it. I know people who do it and they have a great time. But I feel like Apex is a free to play game, but it's over the top with its fucking microtransactions, man. Shit is just too fucking expensive, dog. And it's like you got all these issues going on. You know, you got motherfuckers hacked your goddamn ALGS, your global fucking series, right? And then a week later, you drop a fucking $700 collection event, and then a week after that, y'all release a patch to fix shit, right? And it breaks the entire game. People are losing their hard-earned badges, their stats, all types of shit. You know, Apex kids, that's all they give a fuck about is their badges and their stats and their ranked shit.
I'd probably be more concerned with my shit getting exposed, honestly. Like the fact that they got hacked and it was like remotely too, and like at first it was like, what was it? They compromised the system is what they said, and then it was like actually the server or something like that. This shit's wild. And now they're just giving people hacks. It was funny as fuck, actually.
Like, I hate it, man.
They need to just go back to basics with Apex, and then at the same time, they need to just stop trying to. They need to just make Timefall 3. They need to just kill Apex, make Timefall 3.
I agree. I keep telling people that, and they think I'm crazy, but I think Apex is like it's big because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get in there. It's just too much. I just
want to say that I feel like the Timefall 2 movement, if it was in Apex, would probably make the game a lot more like
if you could wall run and shit like that.
Yeah, it's crazy they don't even have a champion that does really that.
Yeah, but you know, this is neither about Apex or Helldivers and all that shit, but I think right now Helldivers is an example of what to do with a live service game. Suicide Squad is not what to do with a live service game, and I think Helldivers is a great example that everybody's trying to, and I think Ubisoft they ain't got it in them to do the right thing with a live service game. I don't see it at all.
We got to see what they do with the Star Wars game too.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, I agree. But I think this xDefiant shit just needs to drop. You know what I mean? Pay a couple streamers. You know what I mean? I'll play it. I mean, for a couple of dollars. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Pay a couple streamers to just, push the game out there. I can get at least 6 people to download that joint right now.
I'll check it out, but I'm not excited for it.
I can get 6 motherfuckers to download that shit right now. And then after that, that honeymoon phase is over. once that honeymoon phase is over, you know, a billion people are going to drop the game. But that is like a thing that I think a lot of these live service games don't think about. Like, you have that honeymoon phase, so you have that big ass boom in your overall population. And then after you're done advertising and doing all this extra shit, and, you know, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks into, a month later, people kind of move on to the next big thing or go back to what they were playing afterwards. It's capitalize on those people who are willing to stay, man. And I think that's what a lot of these live services don't do right. Like, those people who are willing to see your game through to the bitter end, dog. Like, I used to be in love with this game. It's called Spellbound. All right.
Oh yeah, they canceled that, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a battle royale like Magic game. It was so fucking good, but it was just, it didn't do well. It didn't perform well. But it was like it was just a great game. It was on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. I think it was on mobile, and it was all cross-play, man. And it was just, that was like a great game to just like vibe out to, man. It's like they killed it. And it's like, I think a lot of times, like, it's money. So it's like, yo, this is not making us money to the point where it's even worth keeping it alive. But at the same time, it's like, you need to focus on those people who are still there. And that's one thing I think Halo Infinite does very fucking well, man. For the people that are still playing that fucking game, they're happy. And that's all that matters, dog.
Shit,
they're
I'm playing it right now.
They're buying battle passes. They're doing all types of shit. And the people who, I mean, played it and fell off, they may come back, they may not, but they're looking at the people who are still there, and that's what's important. And people,
I think the only issue that Infinite has right now is the same issue Apex has. Their cosmetics are way too fucking expensive, and usually they're like just like one or two things that are like worth trying to get, but it's like $20 or close to $20, like $18. But that's also an issue with live service games in general. Their cosmetic shops are usually way too overpriced. I just think, like I said, to close this conversation, I think xDefiant should just drop this shit like next week or something. Drop the shit, pump some money into it, get some streamers to play this shit, some big names, stuff like that, some FaZe Clan members and shit. I think they should just focus on the gameplay. I mean, like, you're talking about the market.
That's what people like the most. But what I'm saying is, what a lot of these companies do with these live service games is they literally pump and dump. They go crazy with the advertisement at first, and then after that, they're just like, and they're just juggling this hot potato around instead of being like, and they're looking at all these people leaving, like, why are y'all leaving? Why are y'all leaving? Instead of just being like, hey, we got a good player base here. It's consistent. Let's see what we can do with these people. I mean, let's see what we can do with this small group of people. And I think that's important, dog. I think that's mad important. And I think I think they need to just drop the goddamn game, dog. Because Ubisoft needs a W. I don't even really want to play it. You know what I mean? It's something to do, but like, I really don't even want to play it. I think the game just needs to come the fuck out. I think Ubisoft's problem right now is that they're just holding on to shit. They got Division Heartlands, that other free-to-play game that I can't tell y'all about at all because I'm under an NDA with that shit. But I played it.
You alpha tested it?
Yeah, I mean, I played it. So I'm looking forward to that game coming out so y'all can play and y'all can experience it and stuff like that. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, like, Ubisoft just needs after Skull and Bones, they need a W, dog, because that shit.
Yo, I still don't know how they regressed with that fucking game. I don't know how they couldn't just take the shit from Black Flag and just go, yeah, let's just make it multiplayer.
I don't know, man.
Didn't they have multiplayer in Black Flag too? Or was it just
it was just no, they did have multiplayer, but I believe it was like their standard Assassin's Creed multiplayer, like back in the
like
day.
Unity.
Yeah, no, like the Assassins versus Templar shit. It was like a PvP thing.
Okay,
yeah. Nah, I appreciate you, Apollo. We're gonna read some of y'all y'all messages right now. So my boy Apollo says overhyped. As a person who hasn't played, I think when you see groups of peeps play and they got them funny moments is what makes it fun. But I don't know about issues myself. Yeah, and Augie said it herself. She said she agrees with what I said. She said there's a lot of server issues, but the game is fun though. You know what I mean? And that's where I stand at. I think there's little things about Helldivers, and I said this on a previous podcast. I think there's little things about Helldivers that if another company did it, and they literally just made Helldivers, but it had Ubisoft's logo on it and it didn't have all the Ubisoft-ish shit with it, I think people would be bitching and having their mouth open. Like I really believe that shit. But because it's a small company, people are like, oh, they're small, give them a chance. But then I had to think about this the other day. I'm like, dog, they're literally partnered with Sony right now to push this game out. Like
they've been partnered with Sony.
So they should be to me it's like
their first game was PlayStation only until it came to Steam, I think either a little bit more recently.
Yeah, I just think, me personally, man, I think it has its flaws. Great game. I can't take away that at the end of the day, that game is fun as fuck. It's frustrating as fuck, but it's fun as fuck. But it's got its flaws. Every game's got its flaws, bro. I mean, every game. I mean, but there's some shit that we excuse because memes funny. You know what I mean? Democracy, ha ha ha, and small studio, you know what I mean?
Democracy, ha ha. Nah, I don't usually like go, oh man, independent developer, let's cut them some slack. No. Like if Lethal Company was trash, I'd be trashing the game. If Helldivers is completely trash, I'd be trashing the game. Like,
but that's not the difference. That's not the difference.
The difference is that they sit here and when you see AAA developers come out and bitch about how the standards are being held to, but then it's like you turn around and you look at their track record is literally the same shit every fucking time they release a game. Shop work, game no work. Shop work, game no work. Helldivers was game kind of works. Shop is like optional.
Yeah, man. I like
Lethal
the
Company
game.
was like game works, no shop mods.
I haven't played Helldivers in probably like a month now.
Dude, I've been playing it like basically weekly.
I know.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna get back on. I see they got a new war bond, man. But let's keep this conversation moving because you did mention, since we still talking about Ubisoft, they got a new Star Wars game coming out, Star Wars Outlaws, and it's got a release date, y'all. August 30th. Now we gotta talk about a couple things with this game too. August 30th is when Star Wars Outlaws drops. And there is 3 editions that you can purchase, man. 3 lovely editions you could purchase. You know what I mean? You got your $70 standard edition, because that's a standard now, $70. You know what I mean? PC niggas thought they were never gonna see that. I remember when $70 games came out, PC motherfuckers was sitting there high and mighty like, you console peasants will never have to deal. And then now look, it's $70 across the board. But you know, we let them have their movie for like 10 seconds. But yeah, I mean, you got your $70 standard edition. You have your $110 digital deluxe edition. And then you have your $130 ultimate edition. Now, what the deluxe edition allows you to do is, I believe it gives you the season pass and allows you to play 3 days early. So you get to play it on the 27th instead of the 30th. The Ultimate Edition allows you to do the same thing, gives you the season pass, and gives you like a bunch of fucking skins and like a day 1 mission. And I was not happy when I seen
day
that,
1
man.
mission, so we're locking content out. Okay.
You're locking content out, and the game's not even out yet. You know what I mean?
We don't know if it's good or not. We don't know if it's a Jedi Survivor situation.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shit's crazy.
Is there any physical things? Is there any like statues or anything like that? No. Then just get the standard if you really want to play it. Or
that's what I've been telling everybody.
Do something for probably a change. If you're really hyped about this game and you want it to succeed, wait to buy it.
Yeah.
Don't play it day 1.
Listen, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'll tell y'all this. I want this game to be good. It has the potential to be good. I personally think that Ubisoft sometimes is very hit or miss when it comes to their open world games, because sometimes they just flood it with a lot of bullshit like Valhalla, or sometimes they make a real living, breathing open world like they did with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I 100% recommend it. I was just thinking the other day of doing a new game plus of that game because it's that good. It is that good. And I put 120 hours into that game. It's that good. You know what I mean? But I think this might be a miss. I need to see more. I just want to see more.
Well,
Hopefully
the most recent trailer was just the cinematics.
Yeah, and it was a mess too. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of the animations with like her face and shit. The shit looked fucking weird, man. So I don't know how I feel about it, man. I think it could be a hit, but I need to see more, dog. Like, the one thing I did like about the trailer is they did like some crazy Michael Bay shit where they showed you like so much in like 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, they show her on like this planet, that planet, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing. And
yeah,
so
this one you can travel to different planets. It's
yeah,
not
like you got a vibe of like, all right, this is gonna be this and this.
So we're
gonna
gonna
be that.
see whether or not it's gonna be like a Starfield situation where you're loading screen all the time, or if it's like
They've already showed that. They showed that in the original trailer. It's not like you get to fly around and go.
No, they showed it in the original trailer, but when the game actually comes out, we gotta actually see it. We gotta actually see it because this recent 30-second seconds of cinematics is not gameplay. I think I'm gonna probably just cop it off the strength that I'm a Star Wars fan and bite the bullet like I did with Suicide Squad. I mean, you're also a streamer, so it's like you doing it for other people technically.
Oh no, I ain't streaming that. That's gonna be my me time.
Oh, never mind that. Yeah, you should wait.
I mean,
you should wait. I don't know why you're rushing to get this.
Yeah, I want to play it, man. I think Ubisoft. I just need to see more, man. If I see more,
I'm not gonna get it until you tell me it's good or not. Like, and then even then, I still gotta beat Fallen Order and Survivors before I get another Star Wars game.
You gotta do that, man. That's important.
And then then, if they fix the actual remake of the John of what's it called, Battlefront,
that's done. That's done. That
they fixed it.
Done. No, that game is DOA, dog. That shit's done. That's just done.
The old one. Because there was the crazy part about that is that the old ones were cheaper than the rejoin, and you could get a lobby. It's just private servers, so they're usually modded or terrible ping.
Man, listen, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, let's read something from the chat real quick. We got Soul Angel. She says, "Do not waste your money on that Ubisoft Star Wars. It's going to be garbage. Everything they throw out lately has been garbage. If you want Star Wars games, just wait for Eclipse, because at least Respawn knows how to make their games." I don't think that's coming out anymore, that Eclipse shit. I think they that was the Mandalorian game, right? I think they canned that shit.
I think they KO'd it.
Yeah, they killed that shit.
But I do know the Kotar one is, they apparently said it's still alive.
Yeah, that was next on the conversation. You know what I mean?
That's the one I'm looking forward to. I didn't really get to play much of the old one.
I'm looking forward to that, man. The KOTOR remake, man. The KOTOR remake. So originally the KOTOR remake that they showed like two years ago at that PlayStation State of the Play thing was supposed to be done by the same dickheads that did the Battlefront collection thing and completely fucked that shit up.
That's why
Saber, exactly. Okay. Saber Interactive just came out and said, no, we're doing the game. It's very much alive, and it's coming soon. So how do y'all feel about KOTOR remake? How you feel, Eknight?
I think it's going to be good. I just need to see gameplay. Because honestly, it's a remake, not a remaster. So it should change some things, maybe tweak some stories. It's just depending on whether or not it has the same amount of content as the original or more. And then on top of that, are like the storylines going to be changed for modern audiences, or are they going to be more towards the original? So I don't think you need to change much of the story. I think you just need to polish up the graphics, change some gameplay mechanics, make it a little bit more fluid, maybe add a few new like classes or abilities or something like that. Again, I haven't played KOTOR, so that's why I'm kind of looking forward to this, because this will be an excuse to play it, the remake, and then I'll go back and play the older games.
Yeah, I haven't played. I wouldn't waste your time, dog. At this day, there's certain games that like they're outdated, and that's how I feel about the old KOTOR games. Like you can't play; they're like unplayable in my eyes. Like they need to be updated. It's like how I feel about Morrowind. You know, Elder Scrolls Morrowind. I feel like that game's so outdated. Like I can't play it. Like it's not like, it's like Oblivion is old, but it's not like that old. Like to the point where it's like it still holds up today. Morrowind is so old that it just doesn't hold up today. And that's how I feel about the old KOTOR games. Like I couldn't go back and play that shit. Because that shit came out when Xbox had the black and white button instead of the... remember when it had the black and white button instead of the... I think so, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man, nah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about everybody in chat, if y'all looking up to that, man. Angel says, if you Google it right now, it says it's not canceled. Star Wars Eclipse was not the Mandalorian thing you're thinking of. Okay. Eclipse. I'm going to have to look that up. Maybe we'll talk about that on the next episode, man. I'll look that up.
Maybe they'll be like, good like fluid mechanics.
Yeah, that's the respawn. That's the respawn. Yeah, I think they'll do good. Oh, Eclipse is that the one? I think that's the one that's gonna be the third game in the Fallen Order trilogy. I don't know. I'm gonna do my research. I appreciate you on that. But let's keep the conversation moving forward, man. Let's keep moving forward with this shit. Let's talk about Twitch, man. We on Twitch right now. We streaming right now. I'm live on Twitch right now.
You're live.
My boy Eknight's live as well, man. I mean, if y'all want to leave a tab up for him, I mean, he's live as well. But Twitch, if y'all remember this episode, all right, is gonna include a lot of shit that we forgot on the last episode 81. So we're kind of like going back because I forgot about a lot of stuff. But y'all remember that Twitch meta, right? Y'all remember when like streamers were streaming with green screens on their ass and shit like that? I mean, well, I'm here to let y'all know, man, as of the end of last month, that's no longer a problem anymore, man. They told the Twitch thoughts, they told them, yo, listen, man, y'all can't be doing that, man. I mean, y'all can't do anything that focuses on intimate parts of your body anymore. You know what I mean?
That's crazy considering their last TOS update.
Dog. It's the thing is they just keep finding loopholes. That's really what it is, bro. They just keep finding loopholes and it's just I ain't gonna lie, that was a clever ass loophole, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I peeped this shit, I was like, hold up. This is smart as fuck, dog. Like, this is smart as fuck because at the end of the day, except for the one chick, because I seen the one chick, she literally had her whole asshole out on stream. Jesus like I seen the asshole. I saw her asshole.
That's wild.
I said, damn. I mean, because she was in such a small bikini that was a green screen, but you could see her asshole. Like, this shit was crazy.
That is crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, this shit got out of hand, man. People was doing too much, man. And
I think it would have been fine if it was like obviously the asshole thing is not fine, but I'm talking about like the focusing on certain body parts. If it's 18 plus, like I don't see the issue. The only other issue is that like I obviously know people lie about their ages on this bitch. So like that's the only other issue. But then I don't know. That at the end of the day, I feel like that's on the parents. But
listen, Twitch just need to come out with their own version of OnlyFans at this point because they don't know what the fuck they want to do. You know what I mean? They want to be on some freak bullshit, man. They want to be all freaked out like the last meta. Like the last meta was crazy with the fucking, you know what I mean? They got their fucking shirt off, but you can't see the nipples or nothing. Like that shit was crazy. And then they were just
still got the body painting meta too, where they're naked, but they have pasties on.
I think that's okay to Twitch standards because it's art. It's kind of like the naked yoga thing on YouTube. If y'all know what I'm talking about, look up naked yoga on YouTube. You will literally see titties and ass and vagina and all types of shit right on YouTube. You know what I mean? Right on YouTube. But because it's for educational purposes, because naked yoga is an actual thing that people practice, it's okay on YouTube.
Start fucking on YouTube and say it's educational.
Listen, there's a loophole on fucking Instagram I found out the other day, right?
Oh, shit.
I'm going to tell y'all this one. This one crazy. The loophole on Instagram now for these OnlyFans women to show their breasts on the platform is to pretend that they are breastfeeding. Let me say that again. To pretend that they are breastfeeding. Now, how do they pretend they're breastfeeding? With a fake baby doll. I seen it. I can send it to all of y'all for proof. This shit's crazy. Good. The shit's crazy. I seen that shit. Yo, I seen that shit. I was like, there's no way this is the meta. And then I seen another girl do it. I said, oh, this is about to be the meta, dog. I'm talking about just, dog, usually when you breastfeed, you got one titty out. They got both titties the fuck out. Like, dog, they just be trying to get around all these loopholes in TOS and shit. And I think it's hard to be just like, no, you're not allowed to do that because for some things like the Twitch body painting thing, that is an art thing. I mean, they're doing that for, cosplays and shit like that. You know what I mean? Some of them do like the Mystique, you know what I mean, from X-Men, the full body paint. You gotta be butt-ass naked for that. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I mean, it's hard to say what's right and what's wrong. I think YouTube was like, yo, as long as it's educational, we don't give a fuck. But it's, you know what I mean, it's some of that, I've seen some of that naked yoga shit. That shit clearly wasn't educational because, you know what I mean, they be just doing straight on pussy shots, dog. I'll be like, damn, dog, like this has gotta be at like illegal or some shit, man. Like, I don't know, man. I just think this recent Twitch meta is just like, I get what they're doing. Like, I get it. I don't support it. I have like weird, I don't support sex work, man. I think sex work is, like I said it on Twitter the other day. I think that sex work is a supply and demand thing. If men are so fed up with sex workers and all this nudity that's going around and women being provocative, we just need to stop feeding into it. That's what I really believe in. If men were just like, yo, we ain't gonna like that content no more. We ain't gonna be typing under their pictures on Instagram no more. We ain't gonna be sharing it with the boys no more. They wouldn't make that type of content. But because there's a supply, you know what I mean? When there's a demand, there must be a supply, man. You know what I mean? It's like everything in life, man. You know what I mean? And like I said on that same post, I'm trying to change being part of that problem because I'm part of that problem. I see a chick, I'm like, damn, her ass fat. I got to send it to all the homies. Everybody got to see it. Everybody got to see. I got to like it. I got to send it to all the homies. That's not good, man. It's not good. Because at the end of the day, I think that shit is harmful, man. I do think that we're so wired sexually these days, man. You even see it with the video games. Like, I just seen some shit the other day about the Fallout TV show, right? The Fallout TV show. Everybody was saying that the female main character, she wasn't sexy enough. They didn't turn her on enough.
I haven't even watched the TV show. I'm like, I don't really care about that.
But it's crazy that like that is what stops certain people from investing in a show or a game or something. Like think about it like this. You love Halo, Eknight, so I'm gonna think of it like this. Imagine if Cortana had clothes on.
She did. she does in the show.
No, I'm talking about in the game.
She does now. The new Cortana does.
Oh yeah, she does.
The weapon does.
Oh man, that's.
What do you mean? Imagine
God
this shit is
damn
reality.
you, sweet baby ink.
Hey, don't listen to me. It don't take too much away. I mean, everyone like thirsts over the Halo 4 Cortana, like bad, but it's like I don't. It's not integral to the game, right?
Yeah, it's not.
And there's
it's
a
not.
reason. There's an in-lore reason why she's naked most of the time. So like,
yeah, but people are just weird, man. Like everything is so sexually engaged these days. It's just like
right.
It's
You're
just
not wrong.
It's just like y'all can't just watch a show and like it was the same thing with The Last of Us. Like everybody was saying the chick Ellie doesn't look like Ellie, which was valid, but then there's people like, oh, she's not hot like Ellie is. I'm like, Ellie is a child. That is a child in The Last of Us
one.
Yeah, that is a child, bro. Like
that's a little fucking weird.
That's a fucking child, bro. Like people be wilding out, man. Like, and that's why I think
most of the people that complain about that shit are the vocal minority and they're terminally online. So
yeah, and
they're the people that actively use Twitter a lot.
No, real facts, dog. Like that terminally online shit. Like that's a real thing, man. Like these motherfuckers live
this
online.
Adult is not as hot as this child was. What the fuck?
Like that's crazy, bro.
That
like
is a crazy statement.
And that's why I think like things with like this Twitch meta is dangerous because it's just like again. With the world being so over-sexualized as it already is, you don't want to, put kids onto that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I understand that, but like, I feel like the more like overtly sexualized the current, like they try to do that shit, the least likely, because usually the younger generation's counterculture, and I've heard several reports that like, was it Gen Z or the new gen, are kind of like over the whole sex and TV shows.
Yeah.
For the most part. So
yeah,
it's
I saw
like
that too.
I think it's like the more sexualized the current like older generation makes shit, the less sexualized it will be in the next round of fucking like people who become in like 20s to the 30s and shit like that. So I think it's like a give and pull because I think that was the only reason why this is a thing because during when we were young, that was like the counterculture was sex positivity and all that shit, like cursing and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I think it was it's just always going to be like this, just to different degrees.
Yeah, facts, man. I like I said, I just think like this Twitch meta thing, like you can't.
The Twitch meta thing is just for them, for at least when it comes to like pushing the sexual content boundaries. It's just for them to promote their OnlyFans by being not provocative, but also being what's the word, controversial, because Amaranth did that. Amaranth kicked off the whole Twitch meta bullshit, and like her and someone else I forget the name of, but like that's when it comes to shit like this, people who start controversies usually end up either coming out on top or on the bottom, and they're just doing it. They're gonna keep doing it every single time until Twitch just bans like
all of them, but they
has
can't
a dress
do that.
code or some shit.
And
that's
they're
not going to do that because they're going to get backlash for that too. So like,
man,
I don't think they're just going to keep adjusting. It's going to keep happening, and until
people going to find ways
people get
around
burned
it.
out of the actual like, what's it called? The controversy. Because there's only so many times before someone just like stops giving a fuck about a controversy if you keep talking about it. Then that's when shit's not gonna probably change.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, y'all, I just think these things, we live in a world that's just everything's just too sexually charged, man. It's just we gotta chill sometimes, dog. We gotta chill sometimes. I mean,
like that's. And like while that is true that like a lot of media now is like provocative, I think it really rests on the individual to take in charge of what they consume. Like if you're not like a fan of sex scenes, you can always just skip ahead if you're watching it on like a streaming service or something like that. All right. And I doubt they're gonna like it's like gonna affect like a lot of shit because like you don't see fucking Godzilla clapping King Kong's cheeks or anything in the new monster movies. I don't believe.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's like that to that degree. Obviously, you're gonna know ahead of time if you're going into a movie or a TV show that isn't like provided by a streaming service that is like, oh, rated R for nudity or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's the approach the consumer needs to take to just avoid those things if they want. But some people enjoy those things, so
and that's cool, man. And that's the thing I'll be trying to tell people. Like, it's like everything in life. There's balance, man. There's necessary evils, and porn and sex workers and all that shit is a necessary evil. We need that, man. Motherfuckers need that. Motherfuckers need to bust a nut, man. That's a part of life, dog.
I don't think you didn't need porn to bust a nut, but like I feel like this conversation kind of went off the rails a little bit, but like
it
we were
did,
talking about Twitch minutes.
It did, but the whole point of me explaining all this extra shit was again,
Mr.
like I
Krabs,
said,
I need to go bust a nut.
No, but it's like real shit. It's like the world is just crazy because if you ever, I don't know if any of y'all in chat or Eknight, if y'all have ever been to some of these like hot tub streams where they do these metas and shit.
Not really.
It is like just motherfuckers that you could tell are typing on a keyboard with one hand and beating their shit aggressive as fuck in the other hand, dog.
I mean
that's a feat right there. That's like, damn, how the fuck you do that? But at the same time, it's just like,
that can be said for pretty much any stream that has any type of attractive person in it. Like there could be some weirdo doing that actively.
Some things just don't just need to be. And Angel,
you need to come out about something. You need to talk about something.
And Angel, what she said is fact. She said there's a time and place for sexuality, but I don't think kids who come on a platform that has a minimum age of 14 should be worrying about busting a nut. I mean,
yeah.
Facts.
That should not be the case.
Dr. Kai said, I'm doing that right now, watching this stream. That's what's up. Shout out Dr. Kai's, man.
I'm doing it right now. What you mean?
Yeah,
I thought this was normal.
That Twitch meta shit was that shit was
fucking
crazy,
wild.
Man. Shit was wild, man.
Well, you gotta start body painting, man.
I might, man. Y'all want to see me do a body painting stream, dog? I'm gonna put I'm gonna make Oscar the Grouch on my chest. I mean, I'll make Oscar the Grouch on my chest. I mean, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on. Let's keep on moving. Dead Space 2 remake reportedly canceled due to poor sales of the first remake. How do you feel about this? Yeah, man, reportedly canceled.
That game was like good. What the fuck?
It was good. But just like we talked about with the live service shit.
This is EA. EA was like, oh man, it's not making trillions of dollars like our Apex IP. Ooh.
Yeah, Apex got them spoiled, dog. Apex got them spoiled.
No, you had a good game made by good developers, good remake, and you're gonna cancel it. And y'all deserve to just have like a shitty IP like Apex right now. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's trifling. Give Dead Space to somebody else.
Yeah, man.
Trigger the blow.
I agree.
They were like, this shit's not on the levels of Baldur's Gate. Our single player games. Remember when they said single player games don't make money?
Yeah,
no, they do. You just gotta make them right.
You gotta do it right, man. And I just think these motherfuckers don't do nothing right. Me, I'm kind of upset by this.
I'm upset too.
At the same time, Dead Space 2 is probably the one game that didn't need to be remade. I think it's more 1 and 3.
3 definitely. 1 in my opinion didn't really need to be remade and needed to be polished up. That's what Dead Space 1 remake does. It just polishes it up. Adds his voice actor lines, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, like it's not too bad. And then kind of like I just think the voice acting for the original characters is not that great in the new one. And the old one, they was phenomenal. like you could hear them freaking the fuck out in their deliveries. So like this one, they're like, oh my god, we gotta run. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
It's like it feels phoned in a bit. It doesn't feel like you're being chased by a giant space alien a little bit. So like, but no, like Dead Space 2, I think they could have just did it, but they could have did it the same way they did Dead Space 1. Instead of it being linear and just section by section, they could have made it a whole Castlevania style map for you to explore, which would have probably been a lot more immersive.
I didn't think about that. That would have been kind of dope.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what they did with Dead Space 1. They made the tram system a fast travel system.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because in the first one, you can't go back anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like I said, I think I was a little upset by that news, man. I was a little upset.
I am too, because Dead Space 2 was goated, and to have it remade and polished up, and maybe added some new ideas that would have made it even better than before would have been great. But plus, it was the one that had multiplayer too.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you something that might make you happy, man. There's reports that Guild Wars 3 is coming out, man. How you feel about that? You got the floor with this one, because
Guild Wars 2 is fucking phenomenal MMO. And if they're making a third one, then they got a lot of fucking work to do.
Yeah.
Because Guild Wars 2 has been out for like a decade. So
yeah. I remember when you played it.
They just released a new expansion too.
I remember you played that shit when we was back in high school and shit. Or I think we just got out of high school or some shit.
Yeah, I was playing. That was like one of the few PC games I could actually run on my little rig.
Yeah.
It's a good MMO. The classes were well designed. Stories actually engaging, unlike most MMOs I know. The only thing crafting is decent. I think the only thing is just like, no, I actually don't have anything really bad to say about fucking Guild Wars 2, and I'm actually looking forward to whenever they release Guild Wars 3.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. To be honest.
You barely played that shit.
I never played the second game, so I just don't know.
The first game is definitely different from the second game. So like this one, I think was more where they just went like classes and certain races, but like the way you build your characters, like after you hit level 80, it's just like gear, and then that's pretty much it. But the bosses are fun to fight. Enemy design is done well. The overworld is done well with like you can zerg up to like I want to say like 80 people if you're in a guild or something like that on a map. It's cool. And the PvP I haven't really tried too much because I was always low level. But it was pretty. It's pretty decent. I hear their world versus world PvP is fun too.
World versus world PvP. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's like a separate map, and you basically just go up against other like clans or guilds.
That's dope. Like the old RuneScape days.
Yeah, kind of like Cyrodiil for Elder Scrolls, just without the whole war mechanic.
That's dope. I like that. Maybe I'll play Guild Wars 3. I'm cool.
It's $40 and you get majority expansions, and they added mounts, so you get like the first one you get is a raptor that jumps and is pretty fast. There's a couple other land-based ones, but there's also a griffin and a dragon, and the dragon is like a crazy thing you have to unlock. So like it's a whole like 40-hour quest line. But it has like good mechanics. Like you can't just ride your mount and just kill people. Like it's got an intro attack, and it despawns.
Okay. Yeah.
So
like I said, I'm gonna just wait for that third game, man. Whenever that joint come out.
Listen, that's fine. That's totally fine. Hopefully, I'll have a new rig by then. But we've been playing it almost every other Friday. But like, yeah, it's a good game. Check it out. Base game is free to play. And then you can pay $40 for most of the expansions.
Okay. Copy.
I think there's only one class that you have to pay for, and it's the Revenant, but that's about it. Like everything else is unlocked. You play the entire base game for free.
Okay,
that's like a lot of content.
Let me see. Let's read some stuff from chat. My fault, bro. Go ahead.
I was going to say I've never beaten the base game storyline. That's
really?
That's how long it is. Yeah, no, I have a max level ranger, and I'm still like at the tail end of the quest line. Like, I don't think it's that long, but it's pretty long for an MMO.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna read some messages from the stream right now, man. Soul Angel says, damn, oh shit, y'all talking a lot, man. So it's like moving and shit. I've been saying it for years. I want another Dead Space 3 that I actually had online co-op and cross-play would be nice. I want Dead Space games like the Dead Space 3 where you could choose between 2 or more characters to play as and do it co-op or single player. And then they got to talking about Blitz, NFL Blitz, which I've never played that joint, man. I don't play sports games, man. I don't play sports games like that. And then we're gonna talk about that, Angel. We're gonna talk about that. That's coming up, man. Relax. We got a couple more topics, and then Serenity asks, what am I doing after the podcast is over? Finishing up the stream, getting lit, having a good time. I mean, hanging out and stuff like that. So we got a lot going on, man. But yeah, I'm glad Serenity brought that up because we got a couple. Not Serenity. Angel brought it up. She said, "Here's a topic for you. What's up with the shady practices in the gaming industry?" Well, let's look at something that a lot of people are upset about, right? A lot of people are kind of upset about. Call of Duty has a Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire collab that they're doing. They have some skins that you can buy. And there's a new weapon that you can get in-game, which costs $80 in COD points to unlock. And a lot of people are upset about that shit. Now, let me break it down for y'all because these articles are a little, again, baity. Like we talk about all the time on the podcast. I mean, we talk about that shit all the time on the podcast. So there's 4 skins you gotta buy. Four skins. Yes, 4 skins. 4 skins.
That's 4 dudes
that you gotta buy. And they're $20 each. And they get you a unique skin, Godzilla X Kong type skin. And if you buy all 4 skins, you basically get a melee weapon that just does what every other melee weapon does. But you have to buy all 4 skins, which totals up to like 80.
Does it like make a cool sound effect?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Is it ragdoll enemies?
No, that's what a lot of people are upset about.
Okay. Yeah, no. So you have to buy 4 separate skin packs to get this?
Yes.
It's not an unlockable in-game item?
Nah.
Yeah, no, that's for someone that's a super fan of that shit. I'm sorry.
That's what I said. Like, I'm not buying all them fucking skins.
I'll probably buy the Godzilla hoodie.
The internet was going crazy over that shit, man.
Well, they were going crazy over the $70 death box too. So like or $100 death box.
Whoa, $360 death box. Chill out, bro. That shit was expensive, man. We just killed a guy last night. Shout out my boy Ninja and Crazy. We killed a guy earlier when we were playing Apex, and he turned into that $360 death box, and we clowned the shit out of him. And I'll probably put that clip up on TikTok or something because that shit was kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man, all of this shit I always tell people is it comes down to self-control, right? You know what I mean? Right. All comes down to self-control. And it comes down to your wallet. How big is your wallet and what are you willing to spend? Some people are willing to buy every skin that comes out for Call of Duty. I know people who buy like 80% of the skins that come out. I don't even know how they eat. All right? You're spending so much money on Call of Duty skins. But that's their thing. If you got the money to do it, fuck it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Me personally, I ain't doing that shit. Like, I'm not doing that shit.
My philosophy with especially FPS shooter skins is that I'm not going to see them most of the time. And then at the same time, I can only wear one at a time. Right? So for when I buy a skin in Halo Infinite, it's usually because I'm probably going to do a skit with it or planning on doing a skit with it. Like
Yeah.
that's the only reason I even like I still haven't even bought that Cyclops shit that came out a while ago. That's I was planning to do a skit for it because I haven't written a skit for it yet. So like,
okay.
But with first person shooters, the only gun skins you should really worry about are the ones on your actual gun because they're in your face. Because most of the time I forget what skin I even have on.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just say this, man. This is what like games are today, man. It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? All of these games are like this nowadays. They all have microtransactions. They always have some other shit that's coming out after release, before release. I mean, that you can buy for the game and stuff like that. Games are inherently now they're expensive, right? These games. Some of these games have a crazy budget, man. And a lot of times these people want to return on their budget. Sometimes these people are just straight up greedy. Most of the time it leans towards these motherfuckers is greedy. But it's just all about you, man. Like I really think I've always been in that, I remember when the argument of loot boxes versus like just straight up buying the skins you want came out when Overwatch 2 dropped and people were all pissed off like, oh, bring back the loot boxes. You know what I mean? I've always been on the side of like, I'd rather buy what I want if I really want it than just like gamble for the shit and just spend all this extra money. Like, I'm not doing that. But you just gotta have self-control, bro. Like, you gotta have self-control, man. Like, I will probably never buy a skin in Fortnite ever again. Why? Because I got the one skin I've always wanted in Fortnite.
Metal Gear Solid.
That's right. I got the one skin I will never buy another skin for Fortnite. I'll buy an emote. I'll buy an emote, but I ain't buying no skins for that shit, man. It's just, I mean, it's just, you gotta have self-control, dog.
I don't, like, I think the only thing I'm a little hypocritical on with that is that, like, I'd buy what I want, but when it comes to, like, shit like Pokemon cards, I'm gonna buy a pack. I'm sorry. It's a little bit different when you pull something you want. But that's an addiction.
And Augie in my chat says, I'm surprised COD isn't free now. Yeah, Call of Duty will never be free. Yeah, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. It's a trap, man. Like I've been telling people for years, it's a trap. You know what I mean? Warzone is free. Warzone is like the main engine of Call of Duty now. Warzone is what a lot of people come to Call of Duty for. Modern Warfare 2 kind of changed that because they realized that a lot of people don't really care for Warzone. I'm one of those people. I like Warzone, but I don't really care for it. I think it's good, but it's like, I like traditional Call of Duty multiplayer. I think that's what Call of Duty does the best. That's when Call of Duty is shining, when it is the greatest. That's why I buy it every year, because the multiplayer is just that dopamine, dog. When that shit be hitting, when you slide around and you shoot people, it's great. But I think the trap that they do with the base game is you need the base game to essentially level up your guns to play Warzone. Because if you just try to level up all your guns off of Warzone, it's going to take forever, and it's going to be a hard time, and it's going to be difficult, and it's going to enrage you and make you mad and stuff like that. So that's why they do it like that. And that's why Call of Duty will probably never go free to play, man, because even if they have all the microtransaction bullshit, people are going to spend that $70 or that $100 to buy the multiplayer so they can grind their guns out a different way other than Warzone. Because it's logic, man. It's logic. Me personally, I just always been a multiplayer guy when it came to Call of Duty, man. When I went over to Eknight's house back in 2007 or 2008, it was like it was July 4th. And I met a kid named Change Michael, and we played Call of Duty 4 together, man. And it was just, the rest was history, dog. I played COD 4 over my man's crib because he had a 360 and I didn't have it yet. It had to be like 07 or something. It was probably like 07. And played COD 4. and the rest was history. Now I played Call of Duty before that, but
Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the one that was the really liked.
That was the one, man. That was the one. Modern Warfare 2 is the real one, though. Like, that was the real one. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is the real one. But yeah, that's just what it is, man. That's what, unfortunately, all these games, man. Well, look at Destiny. They just sell expansions. Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
We're not doing that. Not on this podcast.
No, it's not enough time.
Yeah. We got one more topic for y'all, man. And this is gonna be a nice little conversation. I want y'all to kind of give me y'all thoughts, man. I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts. Eknight put this on here, and I've been seeing it a lot on YouTube. Everybody's been talking about the preservation of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft, some person at Ubisoft, it's always Ubisoft, came out and basically said that digital media is at the forefront, man. All right? And people need to become comfortable with not owning their games. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that sentiment at all, y'all.
They would also kick this off, not just that statement, shut down the crew, which was the majority single player game.
Yeah.
Like, you could play multiplayer, but it was, for the most part, it was single player.
Yeah, and they took the servers offline. So even because you own the physical disc, you can no longer play the game. And it's been just stirring up the pot, man, because Phil Spencer kind of bounced off that. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought Xbox was done with physical media. And then basically, he came out and said, like, no, we're going to still do physical media. But we all know it's inevitable, dog. Like, PC has been damn near digital for the past, like 10 years. Probably
since
longer
essentially
than that.
Steam pretty much came out.
Yeah, like longer than that.
They used to have discs, and then they came out with keys, and then they stopped selling the physical media. Now, I'm not against like selling shit digitally and shit like that, and it's up to the person, but I do think that, like, even though these products are like technically company stuff, once a game dies, you can't play it anymore. A recent example was Gundam Evolution. I liked Gundam Evolution. I liked playing Gundam Evolution. There was a flaws with the game, but they killed it after a year, and I'm like, okay, can I still just do a private lobby with my friends? No, you can't. You can't play it. Can't get on the servers. Nothing. So it's like, I get it. Like, it's not making money. It's not profitable. You got to shut it down. That's fine. But like, if you're not going to do anything with that particular game anymore, I feel like people that still have it downloaded, the people still have keys for it, I feel like you should at least like have some sort of record for them, or a private game option. And especially the case with single player games, bro. Why are single player games online only? What the fuck is that? What even is that shit?
Yeah, no,
like,
right.
I get it if you like got to download it, right? You bought it digitally, you got to download it digitally. But if it's on the disc, man, like, unless there's some sort of like patch, or if it's just like the disc is there and it's just on launcher because it won't fit on the disc, then we need to find another way to like physically store shit. Because once the game is killed, it's dead, it's gone. I had to struggle to get Lost Planet 2 because I wanted to play it, but I couldn't find it on Steam because it's locked from purchase because there was some sort of issue with it. And so I had to go on like a key reseller just to get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah. I did that with Star Wars Empire War.
Yeah. So like, it's obviously there's ways around certain things, but once the servers are down for like certain shit, you can't play it anymore.
It's over.
And I think that's ridiculous. I think the game,
absolutely.
I think games should exist, persist past either the shutdown of a company or past its life. And obviously, I don't demand that the companies support the game with servers, but having an option to host private servers for multiplayer games that have since died would be awesome. And I get it's like, oh, it's our IP and shit, and it's like, I get that, but like, maybe we can tweak the law so that this is an exception because it's a preservation. That's kind of like what emulators are too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like people want to play Breath of the Wild, but like
the Nintendo, man.
40 years from now, there's no more Nintendo Switch, and it's no Nintendo cardboard box emulator 236, and it's like, oh, I want to play the Breath of the Wild game. I heard it was really good back in the day, and it's like, well, you can't get it anymore unless you have a time machine. So now it's like, all right, well, I'll play it on the emulator, like shit like that.
Nintendo's just like, they don't like that shit. Yeah, the way I feel very strongly about this. This is why, crazy enough, right? I tell people all the time, this is why I will always buy consoles. That's why I always, even though I have a PC, I will always buy a console, because I do like the fact that consoles allow you to buy discs and shit. You know what I mean? And you can have all your games physical, because for me, that's how we grew up, right? We grew up going to Blockbuster, going to GameStop, or going to EB Games and buying these games physical, and that excitement of busting that wrapper open and putting that disc in, like that shit feels good, man.
Midnight launch, you know,
all that shit's dead. We talked about that on the last podcast, but all that shit's dead. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that like the biggest launch, like one of the biggest launches in gaming history, like the Halo 3 launch was like crazy big.
Yeah,
and now every time a major game that everyone's excited for comes out, it's just Twitter that's blowing up, and not
it's Twitter and people chilling in Discords, like we did for Resident Evil 4. And as soon as the game drops, we just stop talking. You know what I mean?
Like, shut the fuck up, get away from me. I'm missing any time.
It's just unfortunately the world we live in, man. The world we live in, and we live in a
weird time where technology is progressing at a very quick rate.
It's oh, my fault, my bad, bro.
And I don't think we're gonna, like, as millennials, like, because that's when we were born, I think we're gonna actually truly catch up and comprehend everything. We'll be basically like how boomers were to us when we were younger.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Just, like we might understand the concepts, but we don't understand the actual like technology itself.
It's just like people, like, I always bring this up when people talk about this game preservation thing. It's just like vinyls, man. Like, people like that shit. People like record players. My boy, when I went down to Maryland, he actually has a record, an actual working 8-track and a fucking record player. And that shit's like crazy. But that shit's like mad important to be able to like use that old media, and still, you know, be able to do that shit. And if you know, those types of systems are very expensive, but it's just like we need to have these types of things, man. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer of, like, if I buy something, I wanna, it's mine, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mine. Like, I bought Halo 3 on Xbox 360. That's my game, dog. That's my game.
Shit, I still got my Halo 3.
If I want to play it in 30 years, I want to be able to play it in 30 years. I may not have the Xbox 360 to do it, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to play that, man. And I think that's important, man. That's why I think Xbox has done right by their previous generations. Like, a lot of, from what I know of, the most current Xbox can play all the way back to the original Xbox games. Like, that's dope. Like, that's fucking dope. You know what I mean? Meanwhile,
it's super important too, like backwards compatibility.
Yeah, man. And then, like, PS5 can only play PS5 and PS4 games. Like, that's corny, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, that's why I have a PS. That's literally why I bought a PS3, just so I could play PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. Because I gave my PS2 to somebody like years ago.
And then, like, also a thing that Xbox does with the what their Game Pass is that they do have older games on there too.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't have a physical copy, they at least have a record, and I think they cycle them out too. So, like, it's like there's always something new to play that you haven't experienced yet if you weren't around when those games came out. And I think that also having a digital archive too is important. Because like physical media is one thing, but like a digital archive of past games is I feel like it's more of a preservation of culture at that point.
It's important, bro. That shit's mad important, man. It's mad important, dog. Like I said, like I buy a lot of games physical on purpose with the intent to either let somebody borrow it, like so they could play it when I'm done, or just so I have that, man. Like there's certain games like Metal Gear games, Halo games, you know what I mean? Resident Evil games, some of my favorite series I buy physical because I want to always have access to those games, though. I don't want to just buy the license and then when Sony's like, all right, the PS5 store is shut off, like they just did with the 3DS and the Wii U. Even though I still think you can access your games and download shit that you bought.
I think you have a certain amount of time to do all that.
You can still do. You just go to the eShop and the only thing it'll allow you to do is download what you bought. I mean.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I had to look that shit up because I bought a lot of games for my 3DS. But yeah, game preservation, man. Please, guys, stop buying them digital PS5s, those all digital PS5s and them all digital Xboxes, man. Stop letting them know that that's okay. You know what I mean? Just because you're trying to save some money. Get that disk drive, dog. You know what I mean? Buy some discs. You know what I mean? Build a collection like I do. Like me solely these days is just for my collection. I mean, I just want to collect stuff. I mean, but
the physical media will always be somewhat important because I feel like you don't get the same amount of tangible benefit of having just pure digital. Because what happens if the save file gets corrupted and shit like that? Now you have
facts, man.
You have no access to your original shit. Like people say the cloud will protect it, but it usually doesn't because there's local saves. And I don't think the cloud always saves everything you're doing.
Yeah, man.
Unless, of course, you're always online.
Yeah. Well,
but, yeah.
That's all we got, man. That's all we got, man. If anybody in the chat wants to, just say a quick thing real quick, I mean, we read it off. But if not, man, that's all we got, man. That's all we got, man. That's all we got, man. Now, I got the digital PS5. I'm fine with it, but I bought the $98 external disc drive so I can play physical games if I want. Yeah. But then you just literally bought the disc version of the PS5. You didn't save any money. You saved $0. You saved $2. I mean, and probably like $4 in taxes. Guess you got a cheesesteak. You can get a cheesesteak. I mean, if you're in Philly.
Cheesesteak's pretty good. Yeah.
Cheesesteak's cool, man.
Yeah, I like cheesesteaks.
You know that, chat? That's and I said this on the podcast before. That's literally how I break down like when I buy like these skins and shit in these video games. Like, how many cheesesteaks is that? You know what I mean? Like real shit. I'd be like, yo, how many cheesesteaks is that? You know what I mean?
You have like a standard shop that you go to.
Yeah, man.
You compare it to.
It's just like, whoa, man, that Diablo foreskin is like 5 cheesesteaks, man. Like that's too much, dog. Like 2 cheesesteaks, I give up, man. I give it up. You know what I mean? But I think of how many bottles of wine I can buy. That's crazy, Augie. That's crazy. I also do the same thing too. I'm like, damn, that's a whole.
I mean, at least you have your standards. I'm like, how many Pokemon cards packs could I have bought with this shit?
Hey, man, it is what it is.
At least
man.
Like intervals of 5 or 6.
Serenity says, great job, great conversation, guys. Thank you, Serenity, man. Like, and this for anybody listen to the podcast on Spotify and the people in the chat, man. Just know if you want to catch up on some older episodes. We try to do this a lot. This week, I overslept like every day. I went to bed early every day and just overslept. So we didn't get to record.
For sure.
Yeah, we couldn't record this week. But that's why I'm blessing y'all with this live episode. Thank you, Eknight, for doing this with me. Because I know you got to go to work soon and shit. And I appreciate you doing this.
We'll be back tonight for Baldur's Gate.
yeah, I'm gonna try to be up for that, man. I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm trying to wake the fuck up.
Don't worry, I have a backup plan. Don't worry.
All right, cool.
Okay.
But
I'll message you close to the time we're supposed to stream.
Bet. But the surprise for y'all is that I'm gonna be recording with Warren and the guys tomorrow to do the music episode for y'all. So y'all getting 2 episodes this week. Y'all getting the this episode that y'all listening to right now, and then you're gonna be getting the music episode probably like a day or 2 after. So y'all getting 2 episodes this week, man. So hopefully y'all tune in to both. Y'all enjoy. But that's it, man. Thank you guys for coming out, man.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, you got anything you want to say, Eknight, before we wrap this shit up?
BLAZEDxENFERNO is a terrible teammate in Marauders. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, man.
It killed me.
I mean, Eknight gives terrible call-outs. I thought he said he died. I thought he said he died.
You mean? No. I was like, did you die? And then you go like, oh my god, there's a dude right here behind you.
He shot the shit out that motherfucker.
It was me the whole time.
It was him the whole time. It was him. It was him the whole time, man. But yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I do have a couple videos in the pipeline. They're waiting on Blaze and BK to record because I have skits in mind that go along with those videos. And then I have Helldiver's music video should be coming out next week. Yeah, just need more booms and explosions for that. And yeah, and after that, I think I'm going to be making another Helldivers video, but in the form of the Lethal Company style video. Or a content update for Halo Infinite. And yeah, I have a shit ton of shorts that I've released for the past like few months. Check those out on the YouTube channel, Couch Combat. And yeah, I'll be streaming tonight for Blaze if he's awake. If not, we might just play Halo or something else.
Bet. And then my closing statement for this podcast is thank you everybody who supports not only my friends in my community and this podcast and everything. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for helping me get to these milestones and complete these things and do this. As we're recording this podcast, I've officially been up for 24 hours. Like I woke up at literally this time, 11:48 yesterday. This is when I woke up. So I've been up for 24 hours. I did not sleep this. I'm 21 hours and 48 minutes into this 24-hour stream, and I don't know how I'm doing it because I've been drinking. I've been drinking, dog.
Yeah, I usually just chalk that up to old man energy. So
probably, but I've been drinking a lot of water. I probably drank like 1.5 gallons of water at this point. Like this is empty.
Yeah,
and then this is
with some hydrates.
This is literally almost done. So
get this man some H2O.
Yeah, I mean, but I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody tuning into the podcast, everything like that, man. As always, make sure you guys check out the links down below. Make sure you guys follow us on our respective platforms, all that stuff. And help us grow, man. I like doing these live episodes because it allows us to, some people don't want to, I mean, sometimes I want to bring the podcast to y'all because this is like my baby. This podcast was an idea me and Eknight came up with a very long time ago, and we finally get to do it together, and it's a great time, man. And I appreciate
it. It was a good time. We should also get some people on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Future episodes.
Hell yeah, man. I got some things lined up. Don't worry, man. Some of y'all in my chat right now might end up on the next episode of the podcast, man. But y'all gotta let me know, man. Y'all gotta let me know. But yeah, that's all we got for this episode of the podcast. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night, day, all that stuff, everybody.
Good night, day. Good evening. Good night.
Morning.
Have a good day. Also, for everybody that's watching me right now, I'm about to raid out on Blaze, so make his 1,000 follower special podcast / stream a pretty good one. And I'll see you guys tonight, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace out.